Today we're checking out the new Galaxy S24 FE or Fan Edition. I believe you have 4 different colors. The one shown here is called Mint. The starting price went up by $50 this year compared to the S23 FE to $649. Before we get into the specs of this phone, let's get right into the unboxing. It's got a pretty simple design on the box, similar to the other S24 series phones. Of course, you have your quick start guide, terms and conditions, and your SIM card removal tool as well. You've got a black USB-C to USB-C charging cable. I know they're calling this a mint color. To me, it almost looks like a seafoam green. Kind of interesting that they made the screen a little bit larger as well at 6.7 inches instead of 6.4 for the S23 FE. It's also brighter at 1700 nits and up to 120 Hz refresh rate. Build quality looks really nice. Obviously, this is a pretty similar design to the regular S24 series. And then just like the regular S24, it has 8 GB of RAM, 128 or 256 GB of storage. It's got a nice matte aluminum finish around the edges. The back looks like a fairly shiny glass material. In case you're wondering, it doesn't look like this takes a micro SD card, only one nano SIM card. The design and style looks almost identical to the Galaxy A35 and the Galaxy A55. In fact, you can almost use the same case from those two phones. It's probably a little closer to the A55. You can also see it's a little bit taller than the Galaxy S21 FE as well. You can see it next to the Pixel 8a, probably a little bit lighter color and a little more bluish tint to it versus green. Also, sort of crazy, but this more budget-friendly version of the S24 series is going to get 7 years of software updates, just like its more expensive siblings. So even if you don't keep this 7 years, still really nice to see. As far as the bezels go, to me it looks like a little bit larger bezel on the bottom, but it almost looks like the bezel is smaller on the left-hand side versus the right. When setting up, you've got face unlock, fingerprint, PIN, password, and pattern. Of course, you have light and dark mode. You can see a new style of wallpaper, which is a little different than the other S24 series. And then obviously you have different colors to match the color on the back of the phone. I don't know about you, but I kind of miss the motion on the lock screen that Samsung used to do. Fingerprint scanner seems to work pretty good though. Of course, up in the notification shade, pretty similar to other Galaxy devices. You'll also notice this one has Samsung DeX, so that's good to see. And you've got video out on this phone, so you can use an HDMI adapter to connect this to a TV, projector, or external monitor if you want to use Samsung DeX on a larger screen to basically turn your phone into a mini computer. And then of course you can customize your shortcuts in the notification area, which in my opinion is really nice. You still have Samsung News or Google Discover left of the home screen under motion smoothness. Looks like it's on adaptive by default, so I think I'll leave it on that, at least for now. You'll also notice you have Galaxy AI on this phone with call and chat assist. Also has an interpreter and note assist as well. It's also using about 22% of the 128 gigabytes of storage right out of the box, so I feel like that's pretty typical. The software is gonna look and feel like most other Samsung phones that's came out within the last year or two. To me, I feel like the screen quality on this actually looks really nice, as you would expect from Samsung phones. In my opinion, you don't really have to get the most expensive flagship phone to have a really good looking screen. There's just so many options nowadays, especially in mid-range phones, where they look so good, most people wouldn't even know this isn't a flagship device. But now, instead of a Snapdragon processor, it's got an Exynos 2400E processor, so we'll see how that compares. I usually hear that some people don't like Exynos, but I feel like as long as it has decent performance, I don't think that's gonna matter to me. Just looking at the benchmark results, it's a really nice improvement over the S23 FE. The GPU score is even 3 times as much. One thing I did notice when playing PUBG Mobile, for some reason the water looked really pixelated started. I'm not sure if it was just an isolated glitch or if it can be fixed with a software update. I did try some lower settings, but it still had that issue. The nice thing is it has a larger battery at 4700 milliamp hours. It also still has wireless power share, so that's good to see. Of course, you have wireless charging on here as well. I also ran my typical battery drain test, and this phone lasted about 12 hours, so a little bit better than the S23 FE, but keep in mind that's a more extreme use scenario, so you can get probably double that with the mixed usage, especially if you turn the screen brightness down. As far as the speakers go, this actually sounds really nice and loud, especially if you turn on Dolby Atmos. Here's a quick sample just to give you an idea of what it sounds like compared to the S23 FE. As far as cameras go, it's a pretty similar setup to the S23 FE with a 50 megapixel main lens, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and 8 megapixel telephoto, but it's a dual pixel 10x digital zoom instead of 30x that the S23 FE has. And then you have a 10 megapixel front facing camera. In the camera app, you've got portrait, photo, video. Under more, you have Pro Video, Night, Food, Panorama, Slow Motion, Hyperlapse, Portrait Video, Dual Record, and Single Take. And you can shoot up to 8K 30 frames per second for video recording. Also seems to have super fast shutter speed, which is really nice to see. Here's a few samples of photo and video, just to give you an idea of what to expect on the new S24 FE. As I've said before, camera quality on mid-range phones are getting so much better that I don't think most people realize which phone it came from or that it wasn't from a flagship phone. And that's sort of the case with this phone. It might be a little bit tricky on whether you would pick this over the regular S24 because the prices are getting even closer. But I don't know, this has a bigger screen, bigger battery, plus you've got 7 years of software updates on this as well. It could be a good option for those who want the Galaxy S24 Plus, but at a more affordable price. So there's a lot of things to consider, but overall I like what I'm seeing from the new S24 FE, and I'll probably do some comparisons and a best cases video soon, so you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.